All right, you three. Bring your chairs a little closer. Come on in. Just scoot in. Yeah, just scoot in. And I'll scoot in too. So I'll do a quick introduction and then kind of share kind of what we're going to be doing today. My name is Ashley. I am from the University of Utah Tanner Dance Program. Are any of you familiar with that program? No? We service children 18 months to adults, 90 years old, some of them, that come and take from us. And we have lots of programs in our building. So we have, and it looks like nobody's wearing a mask. So if I take mine off, are we okay? Okay, thanks. I'll feel much more comfortable. But we also do arts and education in the schools, where we go out and teach in the school systems, and we're teaching the children how to move, but also how to learn and move at the same time. So if they're studying fractions, we're moving fractions. If they're studying the water cycle, we're moving the water cycle. So it's kind of a cool program.
How far do you travel?
We go in the entire state. We go all over the state.
Do a PD for us or something?
Absolutely.
That'd be way fun.
Where are you from?
Alpine?
Oh yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah.
That's easy peasy. So that's kind of where my focus is on going to be on today, is like, how are we getting, when we're getting children up and moving, what kind of vocabulary should we be using, or how can we do it effectively, and why is that important? So for example, I do teach an online class for the Utah State Board of Education for relicensure, and it's creative dance and movement. But and what I've noticed in that class is that a lot of teachers are really good at helping their kids do pantomime. For example, I had a teacher last night who sent in a video, and she was supposed to be doing the elements of dance, but she ended up talking about animals and how animals will move. And as we all know, as soon as I say, move like a dog, what is a child going to do? They're going to get on the floor and they're going to crawl around, roof, 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 right? That's what we're going to see. So how do you get a child out of that and into more of a creative brain process place? And how do we get them thinking in new ways? So that's kind of what my job is to help those children do that. And that's what I'm trying to help you to just begin to start to do. And the first thing that I want to just talk about is that while we're doing that, and I'm realizing that I'm not connected to the internet. So these slides I've already given you. Oh wait, this is the wrong thing. Let me go to this one. So the ways that we do that are through the elements of dance. That's the language that I am thinking about when I am incorporating anything with movement. And the basic elements of dance are space, time, energy, and their bodies. And the way I remember that is it just spells out BEST. B for body, E for energy, S for space, T for time. And what am I saying by that? The body is just your body. That's your instrument instead of your pencil, right, or your crayon. And then space is when I'm looking at this room, how can I use it? Well, I can move in curving ways. I can move high. I can move low. I can move straight. I can move zigzag, right? All of those elements of space. Forwards and backwards, side to side. And so you're thinking about those ideas, and when you're having children move, you want them to be experiencing those things, because once they've experienced them, then they use them. But if you just ask, anyway, so you're also infusing the language when you're talking to kids about space. Same thing for energy. Is just the idea of force. What am I doing to add force? I mean, swinging is a force, right? Pushing is a force. Pulling is a force. Collapsing, expanding, all of those things could be energy. And then, of course, time, it's the beats of things that we're doing. And as far as preschool children can move on the beat. Preschool children can think about the rhythm of words. They can think about patterning, up and down, up and down, up and down for time. So I just wanted, and you're going to get all this information. You're going to have it, so we're not going to read it. But it's in the packet for you. And I just can't stress how important it is as you start to move with students to think beyond the pantomime. Think beyond what vocabulary can I give this child instead of crawling like a dog. What if you were rolling? Or what if what does a dog do in the morning? It stretches. Think beyond what they're thinking of, what they see. What else can a dog do, right? It can swim, right? Exactly. Well, exactly. So, but is it doggy paddling? Well, what if the dog was really stretching in the water? I mean, you want to expand their horizon about what's possible. So that's kind of what I want you to just start to think about today. And so one element that I like to do as a warm-up when I'm working with little preschool children is I love to give them a manipulative because it gets them out of their head. And they stop thinking about the dance and they just enjoy moving with something. And I brought a couple of things that I love to do. This week with my preschool class, we used these. And depending on how many people we had, and these are just stuffed animals, right? And then these are these beautiful streamers. Which one would you like to dance with for a minute? Streamers, right? I would rather be with a streamer too. But I would use these a lot the same way. And it's funny, even though I have this different manipulative, the kids think I'm doing a whole new dance. But I'm doing and using a lot of the same words, but I'm using something else to move with. So the first ones I want you just to go, and I did this morning with my kindergarten class, but I use a lot of the same things with my pre-Ks. I want us to just take this, and I want you to go skipping in the space. And as you're skipping, or if you're too tired to skip, you can walk. You could march, right? And off you go into the space. And you could even just go swinging your streamer as you're skipping. So we're doing two actions, right? We're skipping and we're swinging. Now, you ready? When I say stop, I want you to make a shape that has 3 of your body parts touching the floor. Are you ready? Why isn't that connecting? And stop. Find a freeze. 3 body parts touching. This time when my music starts, you're going to go sliding in the space. And when you go sliding, I'm just going to connect this really quick so we have more fun with music. There it is. Are you ready? This time you're going to go sliding. And the next time I stop, you're going to only use 1 body part to touch the floor. Ready? Sliding. And see if your streamer can go in a circle as you go sliding. And 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot. The next time you're going to use 4 of your body parts to touch the floor. Here we go. Maybe you could go swirling and twirling. Maybe you could just go stretching. Four body parts. 4 body parts. Good job. The next time we stop, we're going to stop with 2 body parts touching the floor. But guess what? It can't be 2 feet. And it can't be just 2 hands. You've got to think of 2 other body parts that could be touching the floor.
Make your students do handstands.
Absolutely. And then they flip over. Oh, actually, I hurt my back. Oh, my hands. Oh, my head. Right?
Can't be 2 hands or 2 feet.
Can't be 2 hands or 2 feet.
So they'd have to do a handstand.
No. Ready? Has to be 2 body parts. Ready? This time, how else could we take our streamers moving this time?
Around our wrists.
Oh, on around our, can you make swirlings around your wrist? That's good. Oh, look at mine.
Your
Mine's,
ponytail.
or my ponytail, that's right. Or we could take it, you're saying to go in, when you did that, you did it in circles. So how about if we make all the different kinds of circles in the space that we can? You could even make circles around your leg. A boy will figure that out really fast. Ready? Okay, here you go, circles. Don't get dizzy. Try a different way to make circles. 2 body parts. 2 body parts. Only 2. Oh, very clever. And rest. Okay, you get the idea, right? I love challenging them to think about different body parts touching because it gets them thinking about how their body can move. Another way that I do that, and we're going to still use these, just find an empty space in this room and set it down where it's not too close to anybody else. And another way that I help them make shapes with their bodies is I'll simply say, especially if it's a brand new class and I haven't ever worked with them before, I'll say, hey, everybody, just come out on the space. Stand as still as a popsicle stick. You know, okay, now relax. Okay, everybody, put your arms someplace new in space. Go. Everybody, put your legs somewhere different in space. Put your back somewhere different in space. Oh, change your head. Don't move, don't move, don't move. Oh my goodness, this looks fabulous. And wiggle it out, wiggle it out, wiggle it out. And I'll do that a couple of different times to see what they can make and create with their bodies. And it's pretty fun to see what they can do. All right, I even had a little boy, I had a group of 3 kindergarten classes this morning. I'd never seen them before, so it was my first day with them. And there was this one little boy. And I never usually have a problem with kindergartners moving. Everybody always wants to move in kindergarten. But this one little boy was just like, not doing this. This is not the cool thing right now. But by the end of the class, he was the one who was raising his hand saying, choose my idea, choose my idea. So it just sometimes takes some kids a little bit longer than others. The reason I love these manipulative things that we might use is I love to use them in their own personal space and to challenge them to move over it and around it, right? So they like to do this one, right? Jump forward and backwards, jump forward. It's a great way to get their bodies moving. They might go teeter-tottering over the top this way, right? And then I usually challenge them to find some cool way that they want to go up. That's usually a popular one.
My pants would literally split.
You don't have to do it. I'm doing it for you. And then I do love for them to explore locomotor around, especially jumping and hopping, especially in preschool because, and this is just something to think about, if you're concerned, like most preschoolers don't know how to skip, right? Does anybody know when you know that they can? This will be fun for you to know. So I know a child can skip when they can hop on one foot for a while and they can hop on the other foot for a while. If they can't do both feet, don't expect them to learn how to skip. They need to have the strength in both legs.
Yeah, because they're switching.
Uh-huh. So skip, skip, skip. So the knee has to come up, skip, skip, skip. This is a skip. This is a chasse or a slide, right?
You guys, is that on the dot, skipping? I know marching is.
They should be able to, but the one thing that you could challenge them to do is to hop on one foot. Jumping and hopping for preschool kids is almost really essential for their strength and well-being. Nowadays, kids just don't do that. They just don't do it anymore. And the more we can offer that to them, the stronger they're. We're seeing fewer and fewer kindergartners that can skip. And by kindergarten, they need to know how to skip because they're alternating. It's about brain power for reading. And I can't tell you how many kindergarten teachers I've said, pre-assess how many kids can skip, how many kids can't, who can read, who can't. Matches up.
No way.
Almost, I would say 80 to 90% of the time it matches up.
How come you think that's so?
It's because they can't figure out how it's a brain crossing this. Yep, it's this alternating crisscross.
We were talking about that brain balance this morning.
So it's really important that they learn how to have the strength in their body to learn how to use their body. Because look, when I automatically skip, I'm using this side and this side automatically. Do you see how my body automatically shifts? So it's just something to think about. The more we can straight. So all these little things to get them going, hopping, 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 hop. You'll be surprised how hard that is for those little preschoolers. Yeah? Or even hold on to their desk. Hold on to the back of their chair. Hop 3 times and hop 3 times. All of that's awesomeness. Okay? Are we good? Okay, pick up your streamers. And you can bring them back, and we're going to move on. Okay, so thinking about, and I do the same thing. So I did the same thing with these little bears. I almost did the exact same thing on ideas with these little bears this week. But I also did, you talked about marching. How much more fun it would be if you had a bear on your shoulders that you were marching with, right? Or tossing and catching it is also awesome. Or moving the bear up and around and over your body, right? Finding all the ways that you can. So I added a few little elements to that the kids really loved. All right, so I wanted to take you through kind of what a class looks like. So that beginning part would have been a fun little moving idea you could just do independently. But this next thing is also really wonderful and done independently. So I tell the kids I have a secret pocket, and in my secret pocket, what do you think this is? Watch. So I tie it up, toss it again, I put it down. What was that? It's a balloon. They say all sorts of things. It's a ball. I don't know. Sometimes they say crazy stuff. It's a balloon, but look, I have something else in my pocket. That was kind of hurt. What do you think would be sharp in my pocket? What would it be? They say nails and knives. What was it? A machete. One kid said a machete the other day. It's a pin. Mostly we usually get to a pin, but sometimes not. It's a pin, but what if I go like this? Pick up my balloon and I have my pin. And the kids, even today, even the kindergartners, they go like, oh no, she's gonna do it. I'm like, it's imaginary. And they're still going like this. I'm like, I just think that's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. I pick it up. What happened to my balloon? It popped. It popped. Well, today we're going to build a circle. And in our circle, it's going to expand like a balloon. And when I count to 3, we're all going to go 1, 2, 3. And when it pops, our bodies are going to pop into magnificent shapes. And you're going to freeze it if you can and hold it. So I think it is an incredible job for kids to be able to connect together, to get up very small, and then to grow very big. How often do you do that with your kids? Do you ever do it?
Small then grow?
With the whole class, holding hands.
Not so much.
They think it is the king's pajamas. And here's why I love it. They have to collaborate together. They can't pull too hard. Sometimes I have to go through it a couple of times till they get it, especially my 3 and 4-year-olds, because they get too pull and then they let go, or a little girl's like doesn't want to barely touch anybody, right? But it's that idea that, and we'll keep doing it until we go, and then we have to do it without talking. 1, 2, 3, pop, right? Then we let go on the pop. They love that. It's so magical and beautiful. Just promise me you'll just try that alone. So that's kind of a fun little exercise. And then I start thinking about how I'm going to help them learn and think inside the circle while I'm warming up their bodies. I love this exercise. I'm going to have you do it with me. Go ahead and stand up. And I don't even tell the kids about what I'm doing because they always usually recognize it. Depends on the 4 and 5-year-olds, and 3 and a half, sometimes I have to articulate it. But let's see if you can, you'll figure it out very quickly. And if you're not comfortable going down on the floor, when I go down on the floor, just watch me. So we say, the stretching cat reached down to the mat when he saw a fat rat. And my fat rat is jumping after what do you think? Pat. Pat, now you can watch. Pat went upside down just like a bat. And the bat is wearing his brand new hat. And I let the kids decide, ooh, show me what cool hat you're wearing today. Maybe it's a heart hat. That's been a popular one lately. Or maybe it's a baseball cap. Or maybe it's a bunny ear hat. They get to choose, and we look around and we see everybody's hats. But guess what? The bat and the hat went splat. And then we get up and we do it again. And I tell the kids at this point, I say, this time I'm only going to say the in-between words. You're going to say all the words that sound the same, or the rhyming words, right? Okay, are you ready? Give it a try. Are you ready?
Wow, this is stressful.
Stressful? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
To remember all the
Oh no, you're going to get it all in there.
Oh, written down somewhere?
Yes. I don't know if I have the let me see which one is in here. Shall we see? I put one in. I have zillions that I do. So let me just see which one we put in here. I've got lots of ideas here for you. Build your circle. I called it we didn't do peanut butter and jelly, but that's okay. Okay, I did the all one. We'll do that one too. I'll let you write this one down in a second. Or maybe I'll write it down and send it to you. How about that? So it goes, the stretching cat. Reach down to the ma. So can you see what learning's going on here? We've got ma, and we have rhyming words going on at the same time. And they will remember it for weeks. And you can repeat it for weeks. You get the idea. Yeah. And then you go through the whole thing. So let me teach you this one. This one's actually my favorite. Go ahead and sit down. And this one was actually written by Virginia Tanner, who is the Tanner Dance program was written after. She was a very huge component of how to use imagery for children to learn to move. And it really, this was 100 years ago, almost, this was 80 years ago. So you got to think she's long gone, past and gone. But her theory is that imagery helps children to learn. And so those of us who have taken over parts of the things that she did have realized how important that is in education and have begun to take that into the education realm, not just into the dance realm. But this is one of the ones she did. So she said, rounding over as small as a ball, sitting up to be very tall, looking back at the wall, turning around and saying, that's all. But that's not all. We've got to call Paul. And we have to say, call Paul. Do it with me, you guys. Call Paul. Where'd he go? to the
Mall.
mall. And then I have to explain what a mall is these days. Actually, usually at least a couple of kids know. A mall is a big, giant store. And we jump to the mall. Jump, jump, jump to the mall. Mall, 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 mall. And then Paul went, fall. Don't do it with me. Fall, 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 fall. So you're getting the idea, right? These wonderful words. And then I really do like to play around with those ideas. And I will often repeat them for several weeks until they really understand the language of the sound of the letter and the rhyming words. So there you go.
Cool.
Okay? All right. So there's my warming up stuff. And let's just see. I'm not going to do the crisscross stuff. We won't worry about that. Sometimes another thing to do with just for a fun, just an identifiable fun thing to do independently. All these things could be done independently, right, of each other. You wouldn't have to do any of them corresponding all together. You could take each one and do it as a brain break or a little movement break, right? This is another one of those, the ones that you could do. And this is actually a song from, like, I think it's Kinder Music or something, where they go, Sally goes round the sun, and Sally goes round the moon, and Sally goes over the chimney tops every afternoon. Have you heard that song before? Man, I'm just teaching you all sorts of new things today. So I love this song because then I can randomly take anything I want. I might, if I was using these bears that day, I might put, oh, this bear is the sun today. Got to be a different bear. And this bear is the moon today. And as I'm going around, and I always say whichever child is going, it's their turn. So I'll say, Ashley goes round the sun, and Ashley goes round the moon. Wait a minute, we don't have something. What do we need?
Chimney.
A chimney top. Let's use my phone. I wouldn't do that in a classroom, but I'll do it today. That could be the chimney top, right? So Sally goes round the sun. And really, they get to go around however they want. If they wanted to just walk around, so be it, right? Sally goes round the moon, and Sally jumps over the chimney tops every afternoon, around and around and over. So now we're learning prepositions, around and around and over, right? They don't even know they're learning prepositions. Let me tell you one reason I think this exercise is so great, and that is because during COVID, when COVID first started, we lost our kindergartners for almost a year, right? They were not, whew. It was rough when we came back that spring, especially in the Salt Lake School District. And we had this really epiphany. We realized how much those kids had lost not going to preschool or not being outside or being like this doing all their Zoom stuff they had to do. And the kids couldn't go around a circle.
No way.
Couldn't go around a circle. It took us 3 weeks for all the kids to figure out how to go around a circle. We couldn't believe it.
Video you doing that
Yeah.
one time.
Sure.
And you know what's really cool about this is the teachers could do it at the beginning of the year, and they could do near the moon, around the moon, over the moon.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
mean, all of those.
Absolutely. Those are great ideas. Okay.
So I'm just gonna.
Is this, if I put it over here, is that better? If I do it this way? Because then I'm not getting so close to you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna wide
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to use Sally instead of my name. Okay, here we go. Sally goes round the sun, and Sally goes round the moon, and Sally jumps over the chimney tops every afternoon.
The kids can do it like one at a time.
That's how I do it,
and
one
they
at a time.
Freak out of coolness.
And yes.
They would love it.
Absolutely. And that's another thing I didn't do in the circle today that would help prepare the kids for this is when they're in the circle and we've done our little warming up songs, or there's lots of little things I do that, you get the butterflies flowing in the knees when you're doing, they can do, when you're sitting in that circle, and we did the blow up circle and we popped, we do things like this. We stretch up to the sky, we reach our hands to the ground. We let our cars go racing down the racetrack because the boys think that's the coolest thing ever, right? Things like that. But one of the things that I do after I've kind of worked with them a little bit to just get their bodies moving, I love to have them go one at a time on the outside of the circle and come back home. There's something so magical about that. I don't know why. I teach a parent talk class with 2.5-year-olds, and that is their favorite part of class, when they get to go around the circle on their own. So yeah, you're exactly right. being able to be special for a minute is like, whew, lightning bolts. But that also is, and that's where I was talking about the kids couldn't go in the kindergarten class. We started there after COVID. They couldn't do it. They were going across the middle. They were going in and out, and they couldn't go around. We were just, and it wasn't one class. It was 3 classes of kindergartners. It was just, we all just looked at ourselves and we went, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Is this real? Like, is this really true that these kids cannot do? They couldn't do it. It was so weird. Anyway, there you go. You guys got this, right? Okay. Let's switch to this fun little lesson that I wanted to share with you. So I have probably hundreds of lessons for preschool children, but this is one of my kind of go-to ones that I love because it hits a lot of boxes. Does anybody know what book this is from? So if you've never seen this book, you need to go get it. Do you know this book?
The Seed is Sleeping.
And I've sent you the slides to the book if you don't want to buy the book. So you could just use the slides on a smartboard or something. But this book is just, it's so beautiful. And the very first page here is this page right here. And it's just a complete picture of tons of seeds. And what I like to do with these seeds is talk about rhythm of words. So I'll say, choose a seed that you think is so cool on this page. I just did this morning. Ooh, look at this one. Do you know what it's called? No, you would, but none of the kids would. This seed is called hop seed. Listen to how many syllables are in hop seed. It says hop seed, hop seed. Clap it with me, here we go. Hop seed, hop seed, hop seed. Then we stop. Now, we need to move hop seed. How many times are we going to move? Hop seed had how many sounds in it? 2. So today we're going to move 2 moves for hop seed. Everybody stand up and move your own idea for hop seed. You can just watch if you'd like, if you're tired. Okay? And I'm trying to remember what we chose for this morning, but a child, I think it was this. Hop seed, hop seed, hop seed. That was our dance for hop seed. So they're thinking of those rhythms of those words and those syllables. All right, next one. What are you going to choose?
Oh, I think this is pretty.
Ooh, sunflower, sunflower. This one has more than 2 sounds. How many does it have? Sunflower. It has how many sounds? 3. So now we need a dance or a movement that has 3 moves. And I make all the kids get up at the same time, and everybody just practices their own. Sunflower, sunflower. And I'm just watching them, and they're just doing all sorts of cool things. And then I see an idea, and I go, oh, that one will work. It was different than the first one. Some kids will go back to that first idea and try to do it 3 times. It doesn't work as well, right? So today, this time, I'm going to choose sunflower, sunflower. Now we have hop, seed, sunflower, sunflower. Do you see how we're building? Okay. I am going to die if somebody doesn't pick this next one. I hope you pick.
Indoor recess too.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
with the air quality and cold,
Yeah.
teachers are indoors, and a lot of them are just doing little dance videos.
Oh,
This is
way more engaging, right?
Yeah.
All right. Please, I can see you looked at it for a second. And then, oh, no. What's the one the kids are going to choose? Come on, you guys.
hamburger?
Oh, yeah. Every time. Hamburger bean. Hamburger bean. Japanese maple is 5. But it doesn't matter. You know, I try not to do two sounds. I always try to, if they pick one that has 2 sounds and we've already done 2 sounds, we'll talk about it. Look, that one has the same amount of sounds as hop seed. So it could be the same dance. Milkweed, hop seed. And I might even interchange those as I'm teaching. I might say milkweed, hop seed, so they can feel and hear it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you got to do hamburger bean, because who doesn't want to see hamburger bean
Where
dance?
does that grow into?
You want to see?
Yeah.
This is the cool part about this book. Oh, what? I missed it. Right here. See if you can find it. Nope. Nope. They're all mixed in.
Mixed it.
Find it.
Is it gonna be a
It doesn't.
Oh, what? Is it like a drink or?
No, it's just a plant.
I mean, I wonder what you make with it.
I don't know. Not hamburgers.
Turns into beef.
But the kids love that one. So anyway, and that's fun to, and I didn't get past this page today, just so you know, in my teaching. But anyway, so you get the idea. Dude, you could do this a couple of different times and choose different ones to experiment with. But I'm always using the rhythm of the words. I'm giving them a sequence. We're building a sequence. And then one thing that I've not done as of late, but that I have done in the past, is that I would write those words out. Now with preschool, I wouldn't do that. I would use pictures of the words. So maybe after we picked some, the next day I might come back with the pictures, and then I have them reorganize them. So we're not always doing the same sequence. Maybe we're going to start with hamburger bean, and then go to hop seed, and then go to, what was the other one we did, you guys? Sunflower. And then they could, so their brains are having to reorganize those rhythms and experiment them in different ways. Okay? Now here's the coolest part of the whole lesson. Are you ready? What, and preschoolers are pretty good at this. I sometimes have to help them. But what does a seed need to grow? Do you know what it needs? Dirt, needs sun, needs water. And we could, of course, dance all those ideas, but right now, that's not what my priority is, because right now I have something magical in my hands. This is my magic seed, and it already has enough dirt and sun and soil and air and water. Are you ready to watch it? Here it goes.
Whoa.
It's a magic seed. It's my magic seed. Did it move fast or slow? It was so fast. And I make sure I shake it out. Guess what? It's not very magical. What is it? It's a plastic bag. It's just plastic, Miss Ashley. Oh, but watch. It's also magical. Do you know what is helping my magic happen? It's the air that helps the seed grow. And then I always take it down to the ground because their little hands are too small to do this way. I also always have a conversation about plastic. It doesn't go on your face, right? And if it does, I get to take it away. Not very often do I have to take it away. You ready? Watch again.
That actually is really cool.
You kind of have to play around with different plastics to find the ones that are going to work, but you can usually figure it out. So what I have them do is I have them watch it once or twice with me. Then they get their own. I'm going to give you your own in a minute, so you can just experiment with this. And then I have them get it down small. I always have them watch their own seed first because it's just too magical, right? And then after they've watched it, then I explain that today you and your seed are going to grow at the same time. Watch for when curving parts. Remember we talked about at the beginning of class, you want to use those vocabulary words to help them. Otherwise, if they just grow, if you don't explain ways and movements, vocabulary, this is how they're going to grow. That is so boring. They have so much more in those little bodies than that. Think about how it's twisting. Think about how it's carving. Think about how it's stretching in different directions. Ready? Here it goes. Maybe one part's going faster and one part's going slower. And then, guess what? The wind is coming. Pick up your seed and take it through the wind to a new place to grow. So then they take their magic seed moving through the space. Whoosh, and down it goes. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Watch again. Oh, here it's growing. And then they, of course, do it again. Okay, I'm going to give you your own seed. Are you ready?
Totally.
Ooh, some of these are really big. Woo, sorry. Woof. Woof. I know.
So where did you get these?
Okay, this is a good question. So this is where I originally got them, okay? I originally got these years ago from someone that was doing like a dry cleaners, because it's the color. They had different colors. But in the interim of that, I have found like the best ones that work are the white, cheap plastic bags from Walmart. I know they're white, they're not as beautiful and colorful as these, but it still works. Like the recycle ones you get from the grocery stores, like Smith's or something like that. They work, but it's a little bit louder and not as quite as magical as these are. But sometimes you just have to, next time you get a plastic bag, just start scrunching them up and seeing which ones work is really the best way to do it.
Okay.
So, I know. Okay, find your spot. I'm going to turn on some music for us. We're going to do this to end today. Hold on, got to get my other music. That is, okay, here we go. Ready? And go. That might be too loud for our neighbors. Keep growing. Oh, some of yours are kind of need to be shaken out. And pick it up. Here comes the wind. And down you go, make it a small, shake it out really good. Ready, and get down. Get ready. 1, 2, 3. Woo! And freeze. Good job, ladies. Okay. So I have it on your list. It's from Ricky Valadez. He's got this wonderful albums that are great for moving. Wonderful, wonderful.
That was a good one.
Okay. Should be in your lesson plan that it's sent to you. Any questions about the things that we've done?
Super cool.
Any thoughts? Any thoughts that you're thinking about, oh, I'm teaching this week and I'd love an idea for X, Y, and Z?
I just think it's cool that, I mean, you could do this with
Lots of different,
lots of things.
lots and lots of things, right?
Yeah, the
Science.
syllable things, and I'm just thinking again, like with indoor recess, I think a lot of times it's just a filler, and it doesn't have really any educational context, so this adds a lot of,
But it's still fun, right?
oh yeah, it's movement, so they're getting their wiggles out during an indoor recess, but it's also adds that educational aspect, which is good.
Cool.
It's also not just go noodle. I feel like a lot of teachers just project something and then they're not really even doing it with their kids sometimes. And
Yeah.
the kids are just standing in front of
It's a time to learn.
And they're really not doing Go Noodle. I mean, some of them are doing it full out, but most of them are kind of just,
yeah.
they're not as engaged. I should say they're not as engaged as they could be, as if you were engaged with them doing something else.
Yeah,
Good. Well, thank you, you guys.
thanks.
We're done.
It was fun.
Thank you.
How do we get a hold of you?
Okay, so my email is ashley b.boyack, B-O-Y-A-C-K, @utah.edu. And I believe, let me look and see if I put my email in your lesson plan. Let me look here. I thought I did, but, and we do, we actually have some wonderful, I am so surprised that I did not put that in here. I am usually my name's not, did I even put my name on here? Oh, just on the lesson plan. Usually I have it in the footnotes. I was kind of in a hurry this week, so maybe I didn't do that. But we do some really cool things, so I'll just share those with you. And if your name's up here in this email list, I can take a picture of it and I can send this to you. But we do an integrated arts workshop for relicensure points and USB credits during the school year, where you meet an hour and a half once a week, either on Zoom or in person. And we go through all 4 art forms, and it's all integrated arts. And that's super fun. And then we also have a program that we do in the summertime. It's a week-long program, and you get 3 USB credits. And it's all, the first half of the day is integrating movement into the academic portion of the school day. And then the last half of the day is visual arts. And then one of the days we go in the mountains and have a retreat. It is, every teacher that comes to this workshop, they go, I cannot, this was for me, not for my students. So if that's something you're interested in, I would be happy to send you information on that. I only have like 3 scholarships left for that. So if that's something you want to do this summer, great. If you want to do it another year or not at all as well. But those are things that you can receive from that. All right?
I thought of an idea too, is maybe you could start writing a list of all the movement words that the kids come up with, because then they can start using those.
Yes. So we use those as our word walls, and we'll we'll put up a movement wall of words. And one of the things that's so great about that when teachers do that, is it's building their vocabulary so that when they're starting to write words, they can use those in their sentences. So instead of the horse was galloping down the street. Well, how was it galloping? The horse was wildly galloping, or the horse was leaping ferociously down the street. So it's building their auditory vocabulary as much as it is their movement vocabulary, which is kind of fun as they get older.
Crisscross sunflower sauce.
Okay, so we didn't get to that. Sorry, guys.
That's funny.
It is fun. They sit on their bellies and they put their feet behind them, and they're doing rhythm of words with just their feet. So they're here. And I do this every week with my preschoolers. They can't, if I don't do it, they tell me. And we have all sorts of sauces. We have unicorn sparkle sauce sometimes. And we just do crisscross applesauce. And then we do the rhythm of words with our feet. And then we do it with no hands, no feet. And then we do it upside down. Crisscross unicorn sauce, or whatever it is. And then sometimes we'll do it standing up. Depends on how many we want to do that day. But it's a fun I just pulled it into this idea of flowers and thinking of them before. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day, ladies.